Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion. Today I want to talk about what we know about Apocalypse thus far. We've seen several images for Apocalypse, but we've only seen 5 of the 15 cards in his kit. Apocalypse 1 and 2 are card number 1. Apocalypse 3 and 4 are card number 2. Now, these stages are not like normal villain stages. We will get into that. Card number 3 is the main scheme, and this is the only main scheme we're going to get. I will talk about that in just a moment. And we have some forced interrupts to talk about. Let's start on the main. The threshold of the main is X. X is the numeral in Apocalypse's printed hit point value. So we know that that's going to range from 8 to 11. The forced interrupt is when Apocalypse would be defeated, discard each attachment from him and heal all damage from him instead. This is basically saying if you need a reset, go ahead and defeat Apocalypse. You're going to knock off any attachments he has and reset his health, and you're going to reset this scheme. Next, Apocalypse has a forced interrupt. When the main scheme is completed, remove all threat from it, flip this card and reveal Apocalypse 2. And each Apocalypse has that text. When the main scheme would be completed, basically remove all the threat from it and go to the next Apocalypse. And this is how he grows stronger. He starts as a 1-2 with toughness and 8 hit points and will end as a 3-3 with stalwart, toughness, overkill, and 11 hit points. So keeping threat off the main is going to be important, but I don't think it's going to be that difficult. Card number 4 is Heart of the Empire, which flips to Towering Citadel. This is how we know there are no more main schemes. I have to believe that main 1A is going to put Heart of the Empire into play, and probably also a Prelate minion. These side schemes are very similar. Heart of the Empire has 2 threat and an acceleration icon. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme while a Prelate minion is in play. That's why I believe 1A is going to go ahead and put one into play. When defeated, the first player reveals a random set-aside Prelate minion. Deal each other player an encounter card, flip this over. So in solo, that deal each other player an encounter card doesn't matter. The main thing is you're getting another Prelate minion. Towering Citadel is identical, except it has 3 threat and 2 acceleration icons. It will put the Tyrant's Throne into play. Tyrant's Throne is also identical, except that it has 4 threat and 3 acceleration icons, and it puts No Longer Worthy into play. No Longer Worthy will attach to Apocalypse and heal 5 hit points from him. He cannot take damage while a Prelate is in play. We ignore the force interrupt on the main. And this is interesting because that forced interrupt says when you would defeat Apocalypse, discard each attachment from him. This prevents that from happening. Also, it has its own forced interrupt. When Apocalypse is defeated, the players win the game. So this is how you defeat Apocalypse. You have to go through each of these side schemes and all of the prelates to be able to defeat him. These are the 5 cards we know of in Apocalypse's 15-card kit. And that is where my speculation is coming in. We know nothing about the prelates. We haven't seen any of them. Right now, Apocalypse looks like he'll be fairly easy. But the prelates are where the difficulty is going to come in, I believe. These prelates can have a ton of HP. They could have villainous and or toughness and or overkill and or steady or stalwart, and or patrol. Any number of these things could be on these prelates in different configurations. They could have different configurations of scheme and attack, and any of this can also be tied to expert. Maybe in standard they don't have villainous, but in expert this minion gains villainous, or any other of those rules that I've mentioned. I think Apocalypse looks very, very easy, but we have not seen the prelates. The prelates could be devastatingly hard minions, and while you're facing off against those difficult minions, you cannot remove threat from those side schemes, meaning there is more acceleration on the main. So I think the idea of Apocalypse is really cool, and he, again, looks fairly easy at the moment. But I can't wait to play him because I desperately want to see what these Prelate minions are going to bring to the table. They're almost assuredly going to be a modular encounter set. I can't believe 10 of the final cards in Apocalypse are going to be 4 or 5 of these Prelates. I think in the rest of his kit, we're definitely going to see some treacheries. We should see a couple more attachments because of that forced interrupt on main 1B. When he would be defeated, discard each attachment. So there should be a couple more attachments in his kit. That's all I really have to say in my Prelate speculation. I think they're going to be really, really beefy minions that scale up with Expert. Let me know what you think. What are you expecting or speculating about these Prelates? Are there named Prelates from the comics that maybe we can look at and speculate about them? Please like, sub, and comment. It really helps my channel grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous day.